What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another episode on the Intrinsic server, where we're starting today off in the last project we did before I went on my vacation. And man, it is just as good as I remember before we left. Look at our little miniature custom biome. Man, oh man, we added just a little pond in here. I still want to kind of come through and add some seagrass and maybe a couple pieces of kelp. Just a little something to add a little more livelihood to this pond here. But this pond alone made such a difference. There was this big gap in trees right here, as it were. And I thought, you know what? That would be a great spot to put something. So I came and I thought about it for a minute, and pond is what we landed on. And I am glad that we did. Like I said, I feel like it looks pretty good. But speaking of projects, I've got a couple of projects that I want to work on today. So let's go ahead and start talking about and get right into that, why don't we? The first project of today is going to, let's see, fill the need of the server. Fill a need of the server. And that need is string. Had a couple different people asking about string, seeing if anyone has any. And it doesn't seem like anyone set up any form of farm to get string. So we're going to set up a community farm. We are going to set up a community spider farm. Now, I found a spider spawner really conveniently just right over there in some caves on the other side of spawn there. So that's where we're going to go ahead and go over and put in the spawner. Now, they're not very complicated, at least this one isn't. It should be fairly straightforward and simple and shouldn't take us very much time at all. But let's go ahead and hop over there and see what we can do about it, see what the area looks like. Okay, so we are down here in the mines where we're going to be turning that spider spawner into a spider farm. Look how convenient that is. I did a little bit of clearing. It was sitting on top of a walkway like one of those, so I cleared that out real quick. But I mean, that's all I had to do. Look at that. Literally, we're just gonna have to build a box around it and an area for them to all flow to for us to kill them. So like I said, this is gonna be super simple. There's nothing complicated about this one that we're doing. So I think, well, I haven't decided. Do I want to do a time lapse of this? It would be a super short time lapse, probably not even 30 seconds. Or do I just want to go ahead and build it up real quick? Just get a box in, get everything good to go, and then we can, you know, run it a little bit once we get done and see how it's working. I guess I'm going to kind of have to think about this, and you'll know here in the next few seconds what it's going to be. And then we ended up going with neither of those options. So I've started constructing this. I was just going to go for the build it all and show you guys, but I kind of thought it would be cool, now that I've got the main structure of the farm in place, if I kind of showed you guys how it's going to work, just how simple it really is. So, the spiders up there, now that is a cave spider spawner, that part is important. So, they spawn up there, they fall down into this water stream will push them over, and they are small enough that they'll be able to get underneath these slabs right here. And they'll sit on top of these hoppers. And thanks to these trap doors, they can't get out from underneath this. So we can just sit here and smack away. Get all the string and spider eyes we're going to need. It really is. It's super simple, super basic. And it's going to work, honestly, pretty dang well. I mean, for being just a single spider spawner, yeah, I'd imagine this is going to work pretty well. This should be a far enough drop that once that spawns them and they actually drop, they should be far enough away that the spawner says, okay, it's time to spawn more. So hopefully we just get a pretty constant flow of them. And I personally, and I know others have as well, but I have personally done a lot of lighting up in this cave system around here, trying to get these slime chunks to produce some slimes, trying to get us some early game slime. But since we did that, that should also help this a little bit. I'm not 100% sure if spawners actually pay attention to mob cap, but better safe than sorry, huh? So, I'm going to go ahead and I've got to go collect a bit more deep slate to finish this up. But I'm going to collect up some more deep slate, finish this up, and then we'll go ahead and run this farm, see how productive it's going to be. And now it's all done. And it's working pretty okay. Like I said, for a single spider spawner, it's not too shabby. It will definitely get people whatever strings and spider eyes they need for the early game. Now, initially when I had wanted to build this, I was going to use a double spider spawner, double cave spider spawner that wasn't too far from here. But initially when I found them, I didn't mark them off or anything, and it seems as if though somebody has broken one of them. So I figured just doing this one right here would be plenty fine for the community. And oh, slime. This has been my favorite part about being down here. We're getting a decent little bit of slime. Now, slime's not going to be a problem for us for much longer. We contributed our redstone box today to a couple of fellas that are getting a slime farm put together. And they said since we contributed to the farm, we can have access to AFK at it and get ourselves some slime. So that'll be really nice. That'll help us a lot with our more advanced redstone stuff that we want to do. But now we're done with this. So now that we've got done with this, I've got to let some people know that it's here and ready to be used. And then we can go ahead and move on to the next project for the day. It is the next day, and after attempting to AFK overnight at our melon and pumpkin farm, we have come back to... We've been meloned! I was just sitting here trying to AFK, get some melons and pumpkins so we could trade with our villagers. And you guys, we've been meloned. Look, we are completely surrounded with melons. Let's go ahead and get out of here. Oh man, look at that. Oh, they went ham on that. Look at that. All right, let's go ahead and clean this up real quick. Now with it all cleaned up, I'm kind of just sitting here in awe. You guys, we got pranked. We got straight up pranked. I have a pretty good idea of who it was. There are a couple possible culprits. There were a couple people on last night when I logged off. So, I think that coming up with a way to maybe get some retribution would be the way to go. Which, coincidentally enough, is kind of what the next project is. I've started working on a little something that we're going to go ahead and go check out real quick. Which is this thing. You might be wondering, well, Lurchy, what is that thing? And truth be told, I don't know. I just, I got some random blocks in my hand and started placing them, and this is what we came up with. I have no clue what this thing actually is. I don't have a name for it or anything like that. But what this offers is going to be a community thing. So if we come up to this thing and we meander over here, we can see there is a drop down with some stuff down there. Let's go ahead and drop down here real quick. And man, look, we got a nice little room down here. Nice little room, leads down some stairs into a hallway that leads down to this ice path that leads to a wall with maybe some pistons attached to it. Well, what could this all be? Well, allow me to explain to you what my thoughts for this area are. You see, what I was thinking was this area would be a good spot to have a little, oh, I don't know what you would call it, a little area for content creation, I guess, almost. I mean, or really just a good time. You don't have to be a creator to use this room. But the idea is simple. You would drop down here, and we're going to do some little more decking out, but you would come over here, and you would push this button. And what this button does is it activates these two droppers here. And these two droppers contain some information. On this side you can see we have a bunch of paper in there. Well, these papers are labeled either prank or beautify. So that's kind of what the whole idea is. You'll come down here and you'll select this button, and one of the papers it gives you will be either to prank or to beautify something for someone. Now this other side here is going to have kind of like a theme. It'll have some different keywords in there that will come along with this. So let's say we get a prank, and then we also get a jello out of here. So that means that we have to prank someone with jello. Now I haven't decided if we should incorporate something that determines who we prank or beautify for, or if it should just be dealer's choice. I'm kind of leaning a little bit more towards dealer's choice, but at the same time, it wouldn't be super difficult to add another dispenser with a bunch of names on it. But a couple things we have left to do in here is we need to come up with a bunch of the key words. As you can see, we got nothing, no key words. So we need to come up with a bunch of those. With that, all of our keywords are going to be renamed boats. Well, why rename boats? Because you'll get these, which will give you, like I said, your keyword and prank or beautify. And then you're like, okay, I'm all done with this. What do we do now? Well, we come down here and this is the exit. I don't have a boat on me. So once we get this all finished up, I'll kind of show you guys because, I mean, we're going to run it. We want to prank or beautify something for someone. So you'll come down here and you'll place your boat down and then you just go full speed over here and boom, the door, the door opens up for just long enough for the boat to slide on through and boom, you're going to go flying in a boat. And you should land right about there. I've tested it a couple times and I've landed down there every time. The only thing that might make it a little difficult is if we come down here, we can see we've got a couple signs over here. Now these are from our neighbor. A few weeks ago, we put some signs for our neighbor DiamondDeb here, asking if it would be okay if we put a little bridge in right here. And she has responded that a bridge would be lovely here. Now she thinks we can do a pretty good job of getting one in. So we kind of got to take that into account as we're doing this. Now, generally speaking, we land right about there. And I'm thinking the bridge is going to be just pretty close to the edge of that. When you come flying out of there, I want you to come pretty close to landing right next to this bridge, if not underneath it. So I guess really what we need to do is we need to finish getting all that up there sorted out. Get it all finished up there, and then we can worry about our bridge here. So we've got a little bit of resource gathering we got to do for the boats. We got to start renaming some stuff, and then we can get that area up there all finished up. And now that it's all finished up, we can go ahead and run through it. So, like I said, you would come in, you would drop down. We've got this right here, which is just some powdered snow with the carpet on top. Prevents fall damage, at least from that height. I don't know if it's all, you know, from whatever height or whatnot, but I know from at least that far it'll stop you from taking any damage. But so we drop down here and then we see the push me with our directions right here. So let's hop into these real quick. And this just kind of goes through and explains exactly what to do. Kind of basically everything that I told you guys already. The keywords and how to push the button, letting people know, hey, you know, we need to be respectful of people's areas still, but let's have some fun, you know? So we've got all that into place. Got the push me ready. Got everything labeled for the exit. Come down here. We can see we got a couple more signs that we'll see in just a second. So let's go ahead and push this thing. I'm pretty excited. I'm really curious. This should be completely random. So even we, the builders of this great place, have no clue what we're going to get. So let's go ahead and boom. All right. So we got a prank. Oh, what kind of boat did we get? We got to prank somebody with a concert. Oh man, that's oh man, I have no clue how we're going to do something. Oh man. All right, well, I guess we got a little something to think about. But while we think about that, let's go ahead and head down here where we can see our signs tell us to, you know, have a little faith. Come on now, have a little faith in good old LurchyLurch. His redstone's pretty okay. And ride your boat at full speed at the wall. So I am curious if placing this boat down is going to take the name away from it. So let's hop in our boat. Let's get facing the right direction and full speed ahead. Oh, okay. We might need to work on the timing a little bit there, but yeah, look at that. We made it. I'll tell you though, we landed like right here. This bridge might be a little interesting. So the bridge is what we're going to work on next. But I want to see if does it still? Oh no, it gets rid of the name. Oh man, I didn't think about that. I did not think about that. Okay. How are we going to solve that? Maybe what we'll do is maybe we can set something up in here, get like a bunch of paper and some anvils, and just have it in the notebook saying like, hey, when you come down here and press this, before you place your boat, make sure to rename your piece of paper, whatever your boat was named. Yeah, I think that's going to be the best thing to do there. Let's go ahead and run this one more time, see if it works like I want it to this time, and then we'll go ahead and get that paper in there and get the book updated. So go ahead and come through here. Oh yeah, we got to work on that timing a bit. And then okay, we didn't go too far that time. I don't know, maybe that bridge being there will be kind of funny. Maybe a couple people will smack it once or twice. Like I said, we need to go ahead and get that paper and anvil situation figured out for the boat real quick. So I'll go ahead and get that into place so that we can start working on our bridge here. Okay, we should have it all sorted out now. We've got our paper over here that they can rename their boat to, or rename after their boat, so that they don't lose any information and they can do their prank or beautify mission accordingly. So now that we've got this out of the way, I've really got to think about not only who, but how I'm going to prank somebody with a concert. Oh, yeah, I really have no clue. That's kind of a tough one. But while I think about that, I think what we're going to do is going to do a little bit of a time lapse of me building up just this little bridge. It's not going to be anything crazy big. I'm going to try and pack some detail into it. But regardless, we're going to go ahead and get this done. And like I said, while we're doing that, I'm going to think about just how we're going to prank somebody. And what a cute little bridge it turned out to be. Man, oh man, it didn't take very long. Took about 15 or 20 minutes to put together. It's nothing super crazy, nothing super fancy, but like I said, I feel like it's pretty cute. It fits the area really well, and it serves its purpose of taking us across this little pond right here. Now, one thing we do need to test still is what it's like shooting out of our cave towards that bridge. Do we hit it? Do we land on it? Do we land in a good spot? Well, we kind of need to figure that out. And while we head up there, I have been thinking about how I want to do my concert prank. Now, there are quite a few things that we need to gather up. I need a bunch of different supplies, redstone, miscellaneous, all that kind of stuff. So I do think that the actual prank will take place next episode, but I am pretty excited about it. I still need to decide on who. Who do I want to prank with a concert? Now that is a good question, one that I am going to have to think about for quite a while. But let's go ahead and test this real quick. So we place our boat down, hop in said boat, and full speed! Full speed! Alright, come on, what are we? Oh, perfect. That is absolutely perfect. Sweet deal. I'm glad that that worked out. I was a little nervous that we were going to end up landing on top of it, but we do not. So now that we've got all this said and done and out of the way, I do need to do a bit of resource gathering for our prank, but I do think that will be next episode. I really hope that you guys enjoyed today's episode. It was a whole lot of fun. We got quite a bit done, and we've got quite a bit prepped for our next episode, where we will in fact do our concert prank. So if you guys enjoyed this episode, don't forget to leave a like on the episode. And if you really enjoyed it, don't forget to subscribe. Thanks everybody, have a good one.